What's up, guys? Another patch. I'm gonna go over it. So there's not a whole lot in this patch. Basically, the only two things is the new unit and um, the anti-farming thing. I'm just gonna try to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Free hero of the week is the knight. You know, whoever cares about that, I guess. If you don't have all of the people unlocked, you should wait for these free hero weeks because you can get up to 650 bling discount. That's pretty heavy. That's more than half, so that's good. And then there are fixes for a lot of people were talking about this um, in the comments of my videos where they had sick high level bosses that they paid for, and they didn't know how to get the new ones without like crafting a new one or something like that. I don't even know if you can craft a new one. You were supposed to just have it because you paid for it. So I think that's fixed, and probably the lower level castle things as well, where there was lower level castles and they were getting validated by high level people, and then they were getting like a level 30 boss and like a level 8 castle, which is kind of ridiculous. So let's talk about the anti-farming thing first. I haven't actually tested how this works, but from what I understand from people that I've talked to, is it takes 5 times, if someone attacks a castle 5 times and beats it, within a short period of time, that castle goes into its anti-farming state, which basically means you can't get any loot, XP, gold, or life force from it. Um, that means no materials, no items, no anything from that castle. It's basically like you were like validating the castle, basically. It kind of goes into that state. So they say that farms skew their statistics on drop rates, negatively impacting everyone. We are trying to balance the drop rates at the moment, and our data is hugely affected by farms. Obviously, because everyone's using farms, because the drop rates are terrible right now. So this is really bad right now. It might get better over time. Hopefully, they can actually balance it, but they're going to have to, I would almost say, double, if not triple, the current drop rate of materials for this to be worth it, because even farming nonstop for like 4 hours, you still weren't getting enough materials to get even a handful of the units every week. Like if these units are going to keep going through every single week, they're really going to have to increase the drop rate quite a bit to be able to make up for not having farms anymore. So there still is, like chickenpox castles that a lot of people won't be farming, and you could kind of farm those. It still works. You can just go to the end of the boss room. It's quicker than going through a real castle. Considering real castles and farm castles, basically you on both of them you got anywhere from like 5 to 7 materials, and farm castles took 30 seconds. Real castles take probably over 3 minutes most of the time, probably closer to 5 to 7 minutes. Um, if you're really fast and you go like as quick as possible, you can do them a little under 3. But that's still what 6 times uh, the like time that it takes to go through a mine farm, which is pretty high. And even having that 6 times faster loot coming into you, it still takes forever, like hours upon hours, to be able to grind out just a handful of the free hero, or not the free, the limited time units. So with that being said, let's talk about this week's limited time unit. Last week it was the Hot Roller. I managed to get only 2 of them. I was not having any luck farming number 42s. I actually ended up having to buy a pack at the end of the week because I was only going to have 1 of them, and 1 of them is kind of useless, right? You need 2 to be able to have a pair of them going together, because if you have, like, let's just jump into my castle. Let's see if I can just do that. Let's take this off. Let's jump into Mighty Quest. If you have something like this, and you have 1 hot roller here, and the other one is normal, people are always going to go over to the side and use the normal route. Like, they're never going to go over to the hot roller and get damaged by it. So you actually just kind of need 2 in order for them to work properly. So I wasn't able to have any luck farming number 42s. I actually think there's some weird stuff that goes on with magic find gear and looting materials. I'm not exactly sure how it works at this point, but basically I was farming with my magic find gear on, and I was farming farm castles for at least probably 8 hours out of the last, while hot rollers were available, and I found 0 number 42s, and it didn't occur to me that I was finding 0 of other material as well, because even commons, because I had loot Magic Find gear on. And I took it off, and I was finding the other type of material, so I'm kind of wondering if number 42s just weren't dropping for me um, because I had loot Magic Find gear on. I don't know why I'm saying that weird right now, but yeah, I'm wondering if that's the case, because it was like that for other materials, like the trap material that was required for hot rollers. I can't look at it right now without going to defense crafting 3. This one, U de Trap A or whatever. I wasn't able to find that with Magic Find gear on at all either. And you were finding like other materials. It's kind of weird how that works. So I still have one number 42 because the pack that I ended up buying actually had 2 of them in it, and I had 1 left over from before. So I guess that's a good thing. But I ended up getting only 2 hot rollers that I can use, which is kind of unfortunate. But I found a ton of love while I was doing it, which is why I'm kind of thinking that the number 42 isn't really linked with it. Like if you farm and you have Magic Find gear on, I feel like you're always going to find love. And if you don't have Magic Find gear on, you might find number 42s. It's just a theory. I know that it is the case with some of these common materials, though. The loot table is weird, and when you're using Magic Find gear, you can't find certain materials, which is really weird. Doesn't make sense at all, but I don't know why they would like put that in the game or anything, unless they didn't want to make certain loot tables, so they shared it between the two. I don't even know. But doing that, I ended up finding about 10 to 12 love just from farming for those 8 hours, and I literally found 0 number 42s during that time as well. All of them were from like the previous week farming. So let's talk about General Pao. I think that's his name. It's easier for me to talk about him if I just hop into the castle, but I'll just say that I don't really like him, and I don't think the good thing about them doing the farm nerf this week is that I think this guy is pretty useless. If you want to grab a couple of them just to have him in case they buff him in the future, go ahead, but because he's a limited time unit, you might never see buffs, you might never see nerfs, and I don't think he's all that special. I think you're always going to want to spend points on like a Devlin or a Goatman in replacement of him. Like, he just doesn't deal enough damage, he doesn't do enough. So basically what he does is he spawns 4 chickens periodically, and those chickens will run after you for a time, and then they'll explode like that. During that time they'll auto attack you and stuff like that. So again, he spawns some more, he turns them all into little exploding chickens, and then finally they go and they explode. He has extremely low hit points. He'll get one-shot volleyed, one-shot headshot, one-shot probably from spiral shot as well. Let's just check that, or if I'm on the right key. Yeah, so he'll get one-shot by spiral shot. Pretty much anything you hit him with, if it's an ability, he'll get one-shot. If you probably have a ballista bow, he'll get one-shot or two-shot. He dies extremely quickly, so that means you're going to have a Defendatron on him, most likely. He will turn other chickens that you have into exploding chickens, but you saw the exploding. Like, it's not that difficult to dodge it. It's actually pretty easy. So I have kind of like a full group here with a Defendatron and a bunch of these chicken things. And if I just run around in a circle, I'll pretty much never take damage except for the occasional chicken that actually hits me. This is also with a Bone Puppeteer on Enraged, because I was hoping that if they got enraged, they might be able to stick to me a little bit quicker, and maybe even explode quicker is what I was hoping. It doesn't look like the explode animation changes at all, though. That was just kind of hopeful thinking. It wasn't really, I wasn't really planning on that happening, but yeah. They'll stick with you, but it's pretty easy to get out of the range. It's like old fire mines, basically. Like, unless you're stunned, you're gonna be able to get out of the range of the chickens. Even if you're in like a smaller area, I don't think, like, they clump together so much, and it's not too difficult to just kind of stay on the outskirts of where they are. And it's pretty easy that in between them, because they do so low auto attack damage, that like in between this you can just be trying to focus down the General Paos themselves. Also, the chickens themselves can die, which, if anyone knows chickens, like, they're pretty... Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, like, even my skeletons are just gonna completely murder General Pao. But yeah, chickens, they're like one shot, you know? So, if you ever get into a bad spot for some reason, you can just use Spiral Shot, you can auto-attack a couple of times, and those chickens are most likely gonna die before they even get the chance to explode. So I'll restart one more time, go through them again. I could put them in like a smaller room or something like that. I'll probably stick with the 3 that I have, or maybe get a 4th. and that's pretty much it, just in case they get buffed. But I'm not going to waste many materials on these guys, mainly because I have a ton of materials for that. I have still probably anywhere from like 80 to 110 Smoldering Eyes still left, and I have 11 or 12 Loves, I don't know, whatever I have left. And then, what was the other one? Whatever the other one is, oh yeah, the Noob Tears, I have like 90 of those as well. So, I don't know. They're not too good. Even when they do hit you, I guess I should talk about the damage that they do as well. It's not that high. If all of them hit you, it's something like 1500 damage, which, that's great if all of them hit you, but when you look at things like a Devlin that does 1000 to 1200 damage, and it's 3 points, and it's like a better ranged attack with better AoE because when it hits, it explodes instantly instead of like waiting for a time. I don't know, in order to balance this unit, I feel like his AoE needs to be persistent around him. I don't think he should cast it. I think just every chicken around him should turn into that type, so that he doesn't have to stop and cast them. And all he should really do is summon chickens. Maybe more often than he does as well. And then if the chickens could just explode a little bit quicker, and I mean, I guess the circle is like what they've been doing for the most part. Like, they've been adding those circles to exploding units so that you know what range you have to get out of, which is fine, I guess. But it needs to be a little bit quicker because it's too easy to just step outside of that circle. Like, you know they're going to explode after a while, so I'm not a big fan of this guy. Oh, they do explode when you kill them as well. I guess I should have pointed that out. So they hit for about 400 per chicken. I don't know. It's okay. But you just kind of roll once and it's auto-attack them, and they'll never get close to you. You don't actually have to roll either. If you start attacking them, like now, I can pretty much have them killed before he even casts his ability, which is why I think it should be persistent around him instead of being cast. But yeah, right now I don't think that he's all that great. So that's pretty much it. Like, there's nothing else really to talk about with this patch, so it's a pretty short video for today. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. You can leave your comments below about what you think about General Pao. Maybe I'm missing something, but he seems pretty weak. His resistances are really low as well for a 5-point unit. I think he's just basically, like, I wonder if his resistances are the same as a Bone Puppeteer. 16 and 37. Let me double check. I want to actually check that right now. 16 and 37. It doesn't show them unless they're placed down, I guess? Yeah, okay. I'll do that then. I need a few more points though, so let me get rid of these guys. There. And then I just want to do this real quick. I have the materials to do it, so I'm just going to healer and enrage. Although they're actually pretty worthless right now, so I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to do the other one, but I just want to see. Why? Oh, there they are. 1637. Yeah. They're exactly the same resistances. Are they the same hit points as well? No, it's about double hit points, but their resistances are exactly the same. They didn't really take the time to think about this unit, I don't think, very well, which is a shame because they hyped it up pretty hard by saying it was like the most wanted creature instead of just a wanted creature, and they were like hyping it up. They even did, like, I think, a little trailer for it. I think I saw somewhere. I don't remember. Maybe, but yeah, it's not a very good unit, at least not right now. So that's my thoughts on that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.